Have you ever looked at a Smash 4 tier list and wondered how in the world a freaking chimpanzee is a more viable character than the actual king of evil and darkness? Well, I think it's time to decide who the real top tier picks are in a universe outside of Smash Bros. What's good everyone, Henke is back, and today I'll be ranking how strong every character in Smash Ultimate is if they had all the tools and characteristics from their original games. In other words, I'm explaining who is canonically the most powerful, regardless of their Smash Bros. Iterations. Before we get started, let me know in the comments who you think should be at the top of this list when it comes to how strong these characters actually are. I read all comments and respond to as many as I can, so trust me when I say your feedback is really valuable. But anyways, let's get started. I feel like all of these characters are literal gods, or at the very least are capable of slaying one. They're all extremely skilled in combat and pretty much impossible to actually take down. Bayonetta literally kills angels as a hobby. Cloud is very durable and has a huge sword. Like seriously, good luck surviving a strike from this thing. Mewtwo is a legendary Pokemon and we all know how strong those are. And Palutena is actually a goddess. I guess this applies for Rosalina as well because she does the whole kind of god thing at the end of Super Mario Galaxy 1. Simon and Richter are vampire slayers, and considering vampires are supposed to be like immortal and stuff, that's a pretty difficult job to work. Sonic being placed here might surprise you all, but he seems to take down some sort of godlike figure every game he appears in from Adventure 1 to Unleashed. So I think he's earned his spot here over time as well. Finally, I put Power Suit Samus and Snake here because they were basically raised their whole lives to perform combat and have an arsenal of explosives and other tools to use. All of the characters in A tier are highly skilled in combat but aren't quite as powerful or don't have as many tools as the characters in S tier. I put the more prominent members of the Fire Emblem series here, along with everyone from the Star Fox series. They all seem like pretty lethal fighters with a fair amount of tools at their disposal. I put Link and Ganondorf here because even though Link always ends up beating Ganon, he does that with the help of the Master Sword, a shield, and a bunch of projectiles, while Ganondorf can pose a threat without anything else to back him up. He can just be Ganondorf, and that's usually enough power to almost conquer the world each time he tries. So I feel like those two balance each other out. Sheik is also very difficult for Link to keep up with in the few games she appears in, so she deserves a spot here as well. Lucario's up here because he's literally a Pokemon designed for fighting. Mega Man actually has a metal armor suit, and I feel like that would put him at an advantage to most other fighters. Meta Knight and Dark Samus aren't the main villains of their respective series, but they usually end up being more powerful at their base than the protagonist and antagonist, both of which would need some additional tools or powers to help combat them. Ryu is naturally very strong and knows a lot of fighting techniques, but doesn't have much else to help him out or make him more powerful. Finally, I put Zero Suit Samus here because I think although she does have a plasma whip and some rocket boots, she's left very vulnerable without her power suit. Most of the characters in B tier weren't necessarily designed to fight, but could do some damage if it came down to it. Captain Falcon's here because he's just naturally pretty strong and built. Donkey Kong is literally an ape, so that should speak for itself. I could say the same for King K. Rool as a crocodile since he's also a very large and strong animal. I also put some Pokemon here which could defend themselves pretty well if they needed to. Little Mac is a boxer and could definitely hurt someone real bad, but the thing about him is that I don't think he has the strength that actually kills someone while wearing boxing gloves. Pit actually slayed a demon even though it was with Palutena's help, and since Dark Pit is equally powerful, I put them both here. Rob is made fully of metal and isn't capable of feeling pain, so I feel like that gives him enough of an advantage versus everyone else. I also put the rest of the Fire Emblem cast here because, you know, they all have swords and are generally pretty good at fighting. Shulk being able to change his physical attributes with his Minato thing, whatever it's called, makes him more than just another sword fighter as well. I put both Young Link and Toon Link here because I feel like they simply aren't as physically strong as Link, even though they all share similar tools. Even though Zelda can technically turn into Sheik, I put her a tier lower because she's in her princess form here and not her fighting form. She does have some magical powers that Sheik lacks, but she isn't really a fighter, you know? Finally, I feel like Mario and Luigi are decently strong, but they win most of their battles by using some outside source of power to stop Bowser's plans, like Cappy in Mario Odyssey, the Spin, and the Galaxy games. FLUDD in Mario Sunshine, it's like they always need something to beat him, even though his plans usually aren't very well thought out. Let's move on to C tier and talk about Bowser. I feel like every game he tries to stop Mario in, he's carried by some insane power that, if given to someone else, would be much more devastating than it is in the hands of Bowser. Seriously, if you have the power of 6 grand stars and you still can't kill a freaking plumber that can spin around in circles, you're doing something wrong. Diddy Kong is pretty agile for sure, but I don't think he would realistically be able to knock someone out by himself. Again, he's literally carried by Donkey Kong. Duck Hunt is pretty much just a dog and a bird, unless you count whoever's shooting the gun that hits their projectiles and works as their smash attacks, so I guess that could be something to work with? I don't know. Ice climbers can double team someone, but they wouldn't have much of a strategy besides repeatedly walloping someone with their hammers. Much like Bowser, I feel like King Dedede just isn't a very effective villain. He didn't even have much of a role in Kirby's latest adventure, Kirby's Star Allies. I think Kirby himself actually belongs here as well because he can't do much damage without stealing an ability from someone or using someone's attack against them. He can't really make the first move. I think that although Ness and Lucas have their magic powers and stuff, they're just kids besides that, and I don't think their powers could do the job if they really needed to take down some powerful figure. Peach and Daisy also have magic powers, but to a lesser extent than Zelda. Pac-Man is just... I don't even know what to say about him. He can only eat fruit and little dots, so I don't think that would help him too much in battle. I figured the weaker Pokemon would fit here because, you know, they're kinda weak, but they also have fairly painful attacks if used correctly. Finally, I think Wii Fit Trainer belongs here, because although they're very, fit, they spend too much of their time doing yoga and relaxing peacefully for me to really see them getting involved in a fight. Okay, I'm tired of script writing, so I'll just wrap this whole tier into a few sentences. All of these characters are just not fit for fighting whatsoever. They're either way too happy or peaceful to worry about fighting, or they would easily be a pushover compared to the rest of the cast. They kinda just do their own thing and rarely get put in situations where they need to defend themselves anyways. Well, that's gonna wrap things up for this video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Let me know in the comments whether or not you agree with this list, and make sure to point out some things I missed, since it's hard to cover everything with over 70 characters. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers right now, which is such a jarring number to me, so thank you all for the support over the last few months. It's more than just a number to me, it's a milestone that I've worked hard to achieve, so it would mean the world to me if you all helped me make the final push to 10K. Anyways, I'll catch you all on my next video. See ya.